Big volatility will hit the markets today, and on today's update video, I'm gonna be exactly discuss the expectations. I'm gonna talk about the most important news that happened in the last 24 hours. I'm gonna talk about the Bitcoin price action. What are we seeing right here? What is the next move for Bitcoin in this major consolidation phase we are currently trading in? I am going to be exactly break it down. I'm gonna talk about the momentum on Bitcoin, the exact same price structure Bitcoin is right now creating if we're using the Ethereum chart from 2024, and much more I will be discussing on today's update video. So don't forget to once again watch this video till the end, slap up that like button back above 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated. And with that being said, let me jump straight away in towards today's update video. And to kick off the video, I quickly want to be discussing the news that happened yesterday, and that is that CZ, the founder of Binance, got a presidential pardon from Donald Trump, and now CZ says he wants to make America the capital of crypto. So that, of course, just happened. Also, Trump is saying that he's going to be meeting with China next Thursday. And yes, due to, of course, the presidential pardon, we basically yesterday started to see a major surge in the price action of Bitcoin. And today is going to be also a very important day, because today is CPI day, where we're once again going to see the inflation data from the last month here. So this data is going to drop today in about 6 hours after this video is live. And here you can see the exact time zone when it is going to be dropping. But whenever this is going to come out, it's for sure going to cause a lot of volatility. Just like in all the previous occasions, it has always done so. And you see the day after, we tend to see the continuation of the trend where the data came in from. And if we're looking at true inflation, we can see that from the end of September to right now, approximately now, we are seeing that there is a major surge in inflation. And if we're looking at the readings from the core inflation and the regular inflation, the expectation is that it is going to be rising with about 0.1% here. So from April, where inflation was about 2.3%, now the inflation data for September is expected to come in on 3% here. So that is, of course, significantly higher than April. And of course, if it's going to come in any higher than 3%, we could be, of course, see that the Federal Reserve is going to potentially get a little bit more cautious again. So for sure, this data is going to have a lot of influence on today's price action. So yeah, that is, of course, very important. If we're looking at Bitcoin, all I'm seeing here right now is just after this major correction towards the downside, a major symmetrical triangle with, of course, a lower high structure on the top side and higher low structure on the lower side. And basically what we're seeing here is a compression phase on Bitcoin. And ultimately, of course, before we've seen the fake out above the region right here. And now, once again, we're trying to break above this very critical level of previous major support, now acting as resistance like you can see over here. We got an ever so slight rejection, but this is the level to be breaking for Bitcoin on this moment of time here. And yes, we're also seeing this downward sloping trend line getting created. So basically, there are two major trend lines which I will be watching. And of course, if we do see a positive breakout towards the upside, we could potentially start to call this is going to be the bottom for Bitcoin. But as long as we're not breaking outside of this pattern, I will be definitely not say it yet so far. Also, if you've been watching the channel, you do know that I still have these orders set up on the lower side right here. And yeah, if Bitcoin is going to come down towards about 102 to about 98,000 US dollars, I'm going to go very aggressively in towards Bitcoin long positions. And since I'm seeing that there's a lot of liquidity laying above us, I do really expect that ultimately this topside liquidity is going to get grabbed here. Maybe we're already going to be doing it fairly soon here. Maybe we're already going to grab this liquidity very soon here. But one thing is for certain, and that is that eventually we're going to grab this exact liquidity wall, which is laying around 114 to about 117,000 US dollars for Bitcoin. Then, if I want to discuss Bitcoin a little bit further, in yesterday's video, I went in depth about when does the bear market start here, because if we're looking at timings, we are starting to see, of course, some worrying signals that the momentum on Bitcoin is getting lost. For example, we're seeing signals that, of course, if we're looking at timings from the Bitcoin bull market, we are right now at the end stage of the cycle. If we look back at all the previous bear markets, basically whenever we see a break below this level, then a retest, that is where the bear market gets confirmed here. So for me, this time around as well here, if we break this level, I am going to be shorting the retest whenever we're going to get it, because that is going to be most likely confirm the bear market start for Bitcoin. So this is, of course, something I discussed in yesterday's video, so I'm not going to go all too much in depth about it. But yeah, that is basically a thing I am currently clearly looking at right now here. But in my opinion, I am still waiting to enter my big positions on the lower side to about $91,000, because those are the sweet spots, in my opinion, where I want to be going very aggressively in towards these long positions. I, of course, already have my orders set up here, and all I'm doing right now is waiting. Potentially, I'm going to be missing out on the entry, but yeah, that is just part of the game, right? That is part of trading. And if you want to be staying up to date about even more updates on all my trades and also on the trades from the community, make sure to join the private Telegram group by using the second link in today's video description. Because guys, by joining this VIP Telegram group, you will not only stay up to date on my trades, but also from all the trades of the other VIP traders. So make sure to check it out. It's definitely very, very valuable. Then I also want to discuss something else, and that is that if I am grinding overlaying the Ethereum 2024 price action on top of Bitcoin right now here, you can see just the structure is exactly the same here. And it makes me quite exciting if you would ask me here. But yeah, we've been seeing Bitcoin trending down ever so slightly for quite a while right now here. Like you can see here on the daily time frame, right? We've been trending down ever so slightly. And in my opinion, if we're going to get one more shakeout towards the downside, and a little bit deeper, of course, that is where I want to be going very aggressively in towards these positions, especially if we could come back towards this region right here, right? And that is why I have not opened up my trades yet here, because all in all, I only want to be taking trades with low risk, but very high potential rewards here. And for me to open up a trade right now, in this moment of time here, is just not that risk reward that is worth it for me, because I am trading literally with millions of dollars. And of course, I prefer to not lose the money. I prefer to be making money. So I'm taking it very slow here. But guys, if you are personally also interested in trading, don't forget to check out WeX in the first link in today's video description, because there you will be able to get a 25% fee rebate and a $30,000 deposit bonus, making this the best exchange to be using out there in the market. So if you're looking for a safe, reliable exchange, check out WeX in the first link in today's video description. And I mean, going a little bit deeper in towards the content is, and talking a little bit more about Ethereum. If I'm looking at Ethereum right now here, all I'm seeing here is just a major consolidation phase. A symmetrical triangle is getting created. It is a bearish bias pattern because we've created a major dump towards the downside. Now we're creating a continuation pattern, and ultimately this is most likely going to be leading towards the breakdown. What is the price target of the breakdown? $3,500 to about $3,300. What am I going to be doing with ETH? I have set up already my orders on ETH here around $3,300 to about $3,400 to, of course, scale very aggressively in towards my position. So also for Ethereum, I think the best case scenario right now here is that we're going to be getting a drop right here and then scale in towards the trades, and then we look for the bounce back towards the upside. ETH also on the bigger perspective, you can see it's getting a compression phase right now here with lower highs, higher lows, and ultimately what we're looking at here on the bigger perspective is this very important sweet spot on the Fibonacci retracement. And if we could get back towards this level, it is going to be a very great blessing to be entering in towards our position. So that is the sweet spot where I'm personally going to be looking for entries on ETH. Of course, we still have to wait till it's going to come here, but for me, that is the strategy with Ethereum. I mean, I've already bought a lot of Ethereum on spot here, and if it just comes ever so slightly lower, I'm going to be scaling in towards leverage trades here. And as of for now, I just don't think this is a bottoming structure for ETH here, because we are just lacking a lot of strength after this major dip towards the downside. That is all I'm trying to say right here. And yeah, if we're going to come towards this spot right here, and if we are going to be seeing some very interesting reverse signals, it is going to be great here. But you can just clearly see this is where the liquidity lays in the market. Also the liquidity from the wick here. This is where we previously around find at the bottom, bounce towards the upside. I think a very big bounce from here on, at least to $3,900 could be coming. And if we, of course, catch that bounce, it is already a 50% surge with a 10x leverage. It's literally 150% profit on our trade here. And of course, I'm taking the trade with like $600,000-$700,000. So that is, of course, a lot of money to be made over there here. So yeah, nothing more to talk about. Actually, this is the trade I'm looking to take on Ethereum. All I'm doing right now is just be a little bit patient. I think it's going to be playing out here. If it doesn't, if it breaks towards the upside, and of course, especially breaks above this orange box here, I think we're going to be seeing new Altcoins getting created. But as of for now, I remain to be having a more bearish bias on the market. So that was it for me in today's update video. Make sure to look out for the inflation data that is going to drop today here. If it is going to come in any hotter than expected, we are expecting, of course, a big dump is going to come here. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching towards the amazing new update video. Subscribe to the channel, slap on that like button, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out. Goodbye.